What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we have the KIZUNA Clash versus Jack. And in this video, we have our free-to-play teams, we have the non-Toki captain teams, and then we also will be having additional teams that do include Toki as the captain instead. So there's actually 3 different sets of teams, and you can go down below in the video description or on the timeline of this video to skip to certain teams that you guys want to see. So the free-to-play teams that you guys are seeing in this video today are the exact teams that we made in the treasure map preparation video. All of these teams work very well, at least for up until when they get the additional gimmicks. For this team you're seeing right now, this is versus the strength variation with a quick team. This team will not work post level 30 due to the fact that your right hand side will be inflicted with 15 turns of special bind. It's very difficult to get around without summonable characters. So for this raw free to play team, at least this raw free to play team, you will not be able to get around it, but of course if you do have some summonable units, it's going to make it a lot easier for you. The friend captain king is going to be really nice here because he automatically will activate if you've used an attack boost on stage 2. On this final boss stage, he will automatically activate, giving you an orb boost, which gets around the enemy's interrupt. So a friend captain king definitely helps a lot, but idealistically you'd probably want to be building around having a friend captain Toki to give you as many tickets as possible for this event. You're also going to be inflicted with a lot of paralysis here, so having multiple characters, or at least one good character to remove that paralysis is good. We have Buena Festa attached to Bullet to change those slots, and it does a lot of damage actually, but as I said, post level 30 it becomes pretty difficult to deal with. Moving on now to the second clip of the live stream where we actually recorded these clips here, we have the versus quick team, and of course we're building a Dex team around it. This is very similar to the previous team in the fact that you want to be using, instead of King of the friend captain, this one you want to use Queen as the friend captain, because once again, there is a special interrupt on the final boss stage, which if you activate an attack boost, he does bad things, so we're using Queen in order to actually do that. And you can get Queen to activate very easily if you are using this Kaido. Kaido is very cool because when you use his special ability, he gives you an attack and an orb boosting effect, also giving himself a guaranteed Wano slot, and that automatically will launch Queen for the following room. But because you are getting Queen special in the following room, you can use him on stage 2. And with Queen's captain ability, for those who don't know, when you activate his special, the turn that you activate his special, he will automatically do 500 times his attack at the end of the turn during that one turn where that special was launched. So you can use that to get around the resilience debuff on this stage here. And then for the final boss room, we can just basically launch the rest of our specials. Remember, post level 30, the characters in the top and middle row will receive special reverse. Luckily, when Queen automatically activates on stage 3, and we also have the Nami Robin on the bottom row, and also 5+ Zoro, all of those 3 characters provide special reverse mechanics. So we're able to use those specials to get all of our specials ready to go, giving us Bonnie to remove the threshold, giving us Judge to give us a color affinity boost, Nami Robin give us an orb boost, and then Queen obviously grants a really good attack boost. A really solid team that does a lot of damage. It's able to take on this boss even past level 30. Moving on now to the final free-to-play team in this video. This is versus the Dex variation, so we obviously want to use a strength team. So with this team here, we're using Marker and Ace as our captain because in their dual form, they're like 3.75 times captain to strength characters, which is very, very good. Another really good thing here as well is that the Buggy, KIZUNA Buggy on this team is a nice unit to have because his special ability will give you a full board of matching slots if your captain is a free spirit character. Also, we are using Toki as the friend captain, meaning we get additional tickets, and it's really, really nice to use that. Remember to not forget to use the Toki special on stage 2, otherwise you will not get the Toki benefits on the final boss stage. And after level 30, your captains will be inflicted with 8 turns of bind, and you are naturally inflicted with 8 turns of despair. If you do use Toki on both of your captains, they are going to avoid the bind in despair on the final boss stage, which does mean that Buggy is replaceable. Buggy is nice though because he does help us give us a full board of matching slots for the final boss stage, which may be difficult to get otherwise. Remember, characters that receive the cooldown on this stage are going to be Slasher, Free Spirit, and Powerhouse characters. Also, the free-to-play Cavendish enables us to get a chain lock on the final boss stage, and it does remove the rainbow shield on the enemy as well, meaning that because of that chain lock, we can just automatically attack essentially with our 2 captains with that 3.5 attack and orb boost via Toki's special ability to absolutely demolish this boss fight. Moving on now to a little bit different teams. These teams are going to be teams that I was planning on using now that I had Kinemon. However, because of the fact that I had access to Toki after doing an additional multi-pull after the stream had concluded, we'll see the Toki teams a little bit later on in this video. But in this little section of the video, we're going to be having a look at the teams that do use Kinemon as a crewmate, but they are going to be, using just the other characters that are non-Toki related. So with this team, we're using Ace and Sabo. Remember, this is the versus strength variation. As stated a little earlier, characters on your right hand side will be inflicted with 15 turns of special bind post level 30. Luckily, the dual captain effect and the Sabo captain effect of Ace and Sabo enable you to remove up to 10 turns each of special bind. This ultimately means that you are able to just completely avoid that special bind altogether. A really, really nice effect of the character, so you really don't have to worry about it. Okay, then we also have the Kuzan character, who's able to get around the defense buff on stage 2. It also gives our Free Spirit and Shooter characters a 2x attack boost, making this fight a little bit easier. On the final boss fight, we have the Kinemon to get around the block orbs, as well as Ace and Sabo that help us get around that too. Kinemon also gives us a chain boost, Luffy gives us a 2.75 times attack boost, and then the Kuja Pirates, whilst they also give an attack boost, it's not as good as Luffy's, but they also will give us a guaranteed 1.5 times conditional boost, due to the fact that we have over 50,000 HP. Guaranteed conditional boost doing so much damage. This team will last you a really long time, though you won't get as many points as running double Toki. I do believe that Toki is a friend captain, will still be applicable for this team and will still work, so keep that in the back of your mind if you do choose to use a similar team. Now we can have a look at another team. This is the Dex team that I was planning on using initially, using Queen as our main captain. Really nice unit because he's a boosted unit in this event, so he just does a lot of damage. One thing to note though is that Judge, while he is a good character providing good color affinity, and if you do choose to use Toki as a friend captain, the Judge will actually give color affinity to Toki, and also the rest of your other Dex units. So realistically, Judge is a good call. The only real problem with Judge is the fact that when you actually activate the special ability of Queen, and you want to get that chain boundary in the following stage, the issue will arise where when you do get the chain boundary and you activate the Judge special ability to give you the color affinity, Judge has an additional effect in his special, which removes chain lock. Now, chain boundary is considered a chain locking buff / debuff, so he will actually remove your own chain boundary, which is a bit of an issue. So keep that in mind. You may want to actually switch out Judge for a different color affinity booster. That's probably what I would advise. Still using Kinemon though, he's really good. He gets around the defensive effect on this stage. He gives us a chain boost. He changes badly matching slots into matching, despite the fact that Law as our friend captain here is already treating all of these slots as beneficial anyway, so it really didn't make that much of a difference. But also Law's really good because we get the Queen activation here, so we don't have to worry about the interrupt about getting an attack boost, which means we are able to use Law, which gives the enemy a 1.5 times increased damage taken, giving us just 50% extra damage for free. You love to see it. Zoro is really nice for special reverse mechanics. He has a sailor effect to resist special reverse, so post level 30 it will work. Gives us an orb boost. We have a chain boost with Kinemon as well. Just overall, really significant damage output with this team. Really incredible damage. Moving on to the final team of the video before we get into the Toki-based teams, which are a lot of fun. Here we have a team with Luffy, Sanji, and Oden, friend captain. This is a pretty obscure team, but this team heavily relies on the support effects of this team. Shout out to my girl Karissa for coming up with some of these ideas of these support characters here. So just to quickly run through the supports, we've got Strength Pedro attached to Brook. We have a quick rare recruit Corazon attached to Law, very limited time unit that enables us to get rid of attack down with the Pedro and the Corazon on stage 2. And then we also have Halloween Ace attached to Sabo, and we have V1 Rayleigh attached to Luffy and Sanji, which enable us to remove the bind completely on the final boss stage post level 30. For the Despair though, luckily we have Brook, who's also able to remove 5 turns of Despair. He also will actually remove the Rainbow Shield for us, which is pretty good, despite the fact that Kinemon already does also remove the Rainbow Shield as well. Now, I did use the super type here just to guarantee this kill on this stage versus page 1. However, in hindsight, you don't need to use it here. You could definitely save the Oden super type for the final boss stage just to give you a bit of bonus damage if you want. And then Wano Law's a nice addition too, because he gives us chain boundary in the final boss stage. But using Sabo on stage 2 is very important because you're not allowed to use a color affinity boost on the final boss stage. So with Sabo, he will use his special ability to give you a chain boost on the following turn. But if you hit 3 perfects on stage 2, you get a color affinity boost that carries on into this final room. So it's a really nice addition to the team. So making sure that you have that super type Sabo, who's really great for giving you color affinity in this room, but he's also a boosted unit in this event as well. So yeah, super type Sabo, really great addition here, especially when you use the combination of Luffy Sanji plus Wano Law for a full board of slots, and then Oden can change those matching slots into Wano. Moving on now to the Toki-based teams this time, versus Strength, of course. We're using our quick-based team. Now, I do make a little bit of a mistake in this video. You'll do see here on stage 2, when I use my Toki special to select the units that will be receiving the buff in the final boss room, do make a bit of a mistake here. You do not want to target the Sugar for the targeting. You want to target the Friend Captain Toki and the Kinemon. Those are the 2 characters you would ideally want to target, because that will give you more damage output at the end of the day. But we do have King on this team as well. I actually ended up switching out King for ulti in page 1 so that we can get that guaranteed chain boundary on the final boss stage. Unfortunately, we don't get the activation of their conditional boost because we don't have a Driven or Powerhouse Captain, but ulti in page 1 were a really nice addition, giving us that chain boundary, and of course they're a quick unit, so they have type advantage against this boss fight. But anyways, we also have the super type of Toki to give a color affinity boost to our strength units, which is another reason why when you use Toki special on stage 2, you want to target the Friend Captain Toki and you want to target the Kinemon, so that when Sugar does the Sugar attacks, the last 2 characters to attack in the chain are going to be the Friend Captain Toki and also the Kinemon. But overall, a very powerful team that is going to last pretty much the entire duration of this event. In my eyes, I think it will anyway. Depends on how deep I end up going in this event. But anyways, let's go ahead now and move on to the second Toki team of the video. This time we are up against versus Quick. Now with this Toki team, we are building basically a Dex team here. Now again, I do also kind of make a bit of a mistake here. I don't really make a mistake, but I end up switching some characters around. So instead of Kaido, we end up using Sasaki, and the reason is because you can't use more than 3 specials during the turn you activate Kaido's special, so that's a bit of a downside for him. But we are going to be going ahead and using Sasaki instead of Kaido to remove the resilience on stage 2, and we switch out the Queen for ulti page 1 for the same reasons as the first team, is because we get the chain boundary with their switch effect. A little bit of a problem that we can't activate Toki, Queen, and Kaido in the same turn. Would have been awesome if we were able to do it. We do have Caesar support attached to Kaido to get the ability to remove the resilience after we move into the after we end the turn. Basically, the poison will activate, automatically killing Queen after he gets to his resilience. Was hoping to keep Queen's chain boundary for the next room. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work, so we're going to go ahead and use ulti page 1 for their 1.5 or 1.6 times chain boundary effect instead. So it's a little bit less damage, but overall we actually get a chain boundary off of it, which is still really nice. And of course, final boss stage, we have the Toki boost on the 2 captains, we have the chain boost, we have the increased damage taken, we have color affinity. Really no issues whatsoever with this team. Does a lot of damage and a lot of tickets too. So let's go ahead and move on now to the final team of the video. Final team of the video versus Dex. This is a strength-based team, but we do have the Roronoa Zoro rare recruit. He's really good though, because he will have the ability to remove attack down, which helps with stage 2. And we also have the support of Bobbin, who is a really nice unit that can attach to quick units, and anytime you're inflicted with attack down, he just gives your unit that he supports and adjacent slots of that unit into matching. And then we can use the Zoro special to give us an orb boost, and we just get a lot of damage output with stage 2, no issues at all. And for the final boss room, we have the Snake Man to give us a guaranteed full border slots. We have Kinemon for a chain boost and the ability to remove the Rainbow Shield, and then Wano Law to give us a chain boundary effect. But of course, the main thing is that the 2 captains are going to be the key units that are receiving the damage. Mind you as well, we do end up putting Oden support on the Toki so that we get the guaranteed Wano slot on the final boss room, just so Toki does more damage with all of these multipliers stacked on top of it. But that is going to conclude this video today. Thank you very much for watching. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.